Everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 11 and compare it against the iPhone 11 Pro and see which particular phone is a better one for you. Now, both these devices are very good. I like these phones a lot. I would definitely tell you the Pro model is definitely better than the iPhone 11, but let's go and see how they compare. Now, if you want to pick up some phones, I would recommend buying this year, including the 11 Pro. Links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these phones, you can kind of see that there's some really interesting stuff going on between both of them. The iPhone 11, which is the iPhone that came out the same time as the iPhone 11 Pro, on the front has a 6.1-inch Retina IPS panel on it, and it's like a pretty good looking panel. I think it's a good device when it first came out, but I will tell you this panel has definitely aged, maybe not the best, and I definitely do think there's some not problems, but there's some outdatedness going on for this particular phone. It's an IPS panel, it's 750p or something, or 720p. Definitely not that great of a resolution, and you're getting a lot of bezel around it too, which can be kind of a turnoff for some people. I do think if you're in the market, okay, it's not bad, but definitely the iPhone 11 Pro that has a 5.8-inch Super Retina OLED display is definitely the far better panel here for sure. I like the screen a lot more. I definitely would say this is the phone screen that I would look at and recommend a vast majority of people. And if I were to recommend a phone to people, it'd probably be, the 11 Pro. From a lot of 2019 phones, a lot of good phones came out in 2019, and this was a beautiful phone for sure. Definitely a better looking one with a better, higher resolution panel and an OLED display at that. Now, on top of that, this was one of the last times where they kept like different size panels on both the base model and the Pro model, and you can see the Pro was a little bit smaller. I think it was a perfect size though for the most part. You're getting this reflective material on the side of the 11 Pro, which Apple's kind of removed now on all iPhones, but this phone had it, which was really nice. Lightning ports at the bottom, pretty much the same thinness and thickness. And on the back side, you're getting a triple camera setup on the iPhone 11 Pro, where you're getting a dual camera setup on the iPhone 11. This is some really good stuff here, because if you're getting this type of capability on the iPhone 11, it's actually really, really nice to have that type of capability. I love having triple cameras, and it's a very cool thing to have. You're getting wireless charging on both, but you're also getting a standard glass back on the iPhone 11, where you're getting this frosted glass back on the iPhone 11 Pro. This is by far another really big advantage for this phone. I love having frosted glass backs, and this is by far one of my most favorite things going on for this particular device. Like I said, frosted glass backs are amazing, and I for one love having that type of capability on this phone. Beyond that though, there's still a lot of overlap. Their internals are basically almost exactly the same, but that's always been one thing that I liked about both of them, was that if you want the cheaper one, go for this, but you can always buy the more expensive one on the iPhone 11 Pro. Now, in terms of software and longevity, this is another interesting thing. You are going to be getting basically the same long-lasting phone on both of them. So even though the iPhone 11 Pro was more expensive, you are essentially getting the exact same type of device on both of them in terms of software. So there really isn't a big difference here either. So if you want to get the longer lasting one, there's going to be the exact same thing on both of them. That's not really a big difference here. It's more so the bodies and the cameras. Now, performance-wise, let's go and do a speed test, and believe it or not, the performance is basically the same thing on both of them as well. You're getting that Apple A13 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM on both of these devices. So let's go and see which one is the faster one between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared out in the background. The 11 Pro is here, except for this one. The 11 Pro is here, the 11 is here. Let's get into it. Phone calls 3, 2, 1. About the same thing. App stores 3, 2, 1. And of course we have these pop-ups here, but I'm sure it probably would have been around the same thing. Scrolling through, you can kind of see if there's a big difference, which I don't really think there is going to be. But it's kind of another small thing to keep in mind. Hopping out of both of these, let's get into clock, 3, 2, 1. So about the same thing too. Photos, 3, 2, 1. Okay, about the same thing here too, not really that big of a difference. Hopping out of both these, camera, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Let's go and hop out of these two. So we get into some other third-party apps we have. We can try something like Files, 3, 2, 1. I think the 11 was actually slightly faster there. Shortcuts, 3, 2, 1. I think the 11 Pro was faster there. We can try something like, let's see some other apps, and we have a lot of apps on both of them. We can try Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. This is not that big of a game, I always say, but it's always nice to test these types of applications because there's always lots of like random glitches and stuff that can kind of go on in the background. So of course we get into this one on both, or this one on this one. I don't know why this was like so annoying. So I guess we won't even be able to test that one out. We can try the original Temple Run though. I think I have it here somewhere, and I guess I don't. So let's go and try Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. The iPhone 11, substantially faster there. Dropbox, 3, 2, 1. I don't know why that one was so much faster there. Now the 11 Pro was faster, both at 3, 2, 1. I feel like clicking on the application is faster on the iPhone 11 Pro. I don't know if it's just me, maybe I'm accidentally clicking it. It was faster to load up here though. But whenever I click on an app, it seems like it's faster on the iPhone 11 Pro to actually open it up. But then to load it, it's faster on the iPhone 11. So I really don't even get that at all. Facebook, I'm already logged in there. Snake vs. Blocks 321. So I think I clicked it here a little bit faster, but still almost the same thing. Almost essentially the same exact thing here too. Getting into some gameplay, let's see if there's a big difference, which I don't really imagine there to be. You can see it's pretty much going to be almost the exact same thing across the board. Hopping out of these two, a little glitchy on both actually to kind of hop out of that one. Stack 3, 2, 1. And I don't know why this one takes so long. I guess we get into an advertisement here. Very, very random. Let's go and hop out of this one. Let's get into some actual gameplay. Let's see if there's any glitches going on. And I think you can kind of tell over the camera they both were kind of glitching up a little bit. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but just one of those things to keep in mind. Hopping out of this one, we kind of get an idea what's going on. I think there's still a lot of overlap here. I don't really think there's like that big of differences. And I definitely do think both these devices are fairly good for the most part. But like I said, I think you're definitely getting a better performing device, maybe from the 11 Pro, but there's also like so much overlap here. There's not really one that's like significantly better than the other one. So that kind of covers it up from that perspective. Now, from the camera side of things, both these phones are going to be giving you pretty solid cameras, I would say, for how old these phones are. They're really not like amazing cameras anymore. But with both of them, obviously you can tell there's slight differences. So with the iPhone 11 dual camera setup, wide and ultra wide camera, iPhone 11 Pro, wide ultra wide telephoto lens. Now they both can do 4K 60 on the front and the back, which is great. And I didn't really notice like big massive differences between these cameras either, to be honest. Like of course you're getting the better one overall on the iPhone 11 Pro, but this one, keep in mind you're getting 0.5x zoom, which is nice, and you're getting 5x zoom on the inside. So 0.5x zoom and then 5x zoom, definitely not like terrible or anything, but it's definitely not as good as something like the iPhone 11 Pro's camera. But still the iPhone 11's camera is good. Video mode, portrait mode, still a very solid camera for how old this phone is, like I mentioned, but it is a significantly older camera when it kind of comes down to it. The iPhone 11 Pro, you are getting, I would say, definitely the better camera. I think that's what would kind of happen here. You're getting a camera that's very, very good. So on the outside, 0.5x zoom, which is very nice. On the inside, you're getting 10x zoom. So you're getting twice the amount of zoom on the iPhone 11 Pro camera than something like the iPhone 11 camera. So that's just one of those things to keep in mind. You are getting video mode, which is nice, slow mode, time lapse, getting portrait mode and panorama mode. So I definitely like a camera like the iPhone 11 Pro. I think it looks very good. I think the iPhone 11 camera is still better, or I think the iPhone 11 camera is still good, but the iPhone 11 Pro camera is definitely better. So to kind of sum it up, what I'll definitely tell you is I definitely do think the iPhone 11 Pro is probably the better phone I'd recommend a majority of people to buy. I think this is a very, very good phone. I think it has a ton of capability and a lot of quality. So this is the phone I'd recommend people to buy, probably more so than the iPhone 11. If you have a little bit more money, I'd recommend buying the iPhone 13 Pro. I think that is a significantly better phone than a lot of other options out there. But that's kind of how it summed that one up. I think the iPhone 11 is a very, very good phone too. I like this phone a lot. But I think the 11 Pro is definitely better. But if you can only afford the 11, then I'd say go for this one too. It's not a bad phone. So that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.